Tonight, President Trump weighing in on the RFK Stadium deal. The president was asked if he'd intervene to push the deal through if council did not approve it.
President says he'd like to see it happen, but implied he'd stay on the sidelines, at least for now. David Kaplan in familiar confines once again outside of RFK Stadium. I know we're going to be there a lot as this debate continues tonight. What's the latest?
Yeah, Jim, it's always good to be outside of the old RFK Stadium. Let's talk about what Council Chair Phil Mendelson said last week. He indicated that, yes, Council has to sign off on this. It's his perspective that he thinks Council wants to get to yes on this and approve this deal. However, wants to comb through the agreement that the mayor and the commanders made. The mayor wanted this deal done and signed off on by Council by July 15th. But Council, we know, is waiting on 3 reports. They're going to have hearings at the end of July. Then they're in August recess. So they may go well past that July 15th deadline. Fox News asking President Trump yesterday if he would intervene if Council did not reach a deal. Take a listen.
Well, we see what happens. I've been looking at the deal, and, I don't blame them. It's a very important piece of property. It's a great piece of property, so we'll see. But if I can help them out, I will. And, I don't blame them. It's a very important piece of property. It's a great piece of property, so we'll see. But if I can help them out, I will. Ultimately, we control that. The federal government ultimately controls it, so we'll see what happens. I saw the plans. I saw the stadium. The owner's very, very successful and a very good man. I know him a little bit. And it would be a great place for the NFL to be there, I can tell you that. So if they want to negotiate a little tough, that's okay with me.
So the president, seeming to support Council's desire to come up with the best deal, didn't commit to getting involved, but did remind that this is federal government property, which leads us to the obvious question. If the president chose to step in, what could he do? We spoke to sports law professor Melinda Roth about the RFK legislation that was signed into law in January that sort of dictates what can happen here. While it is federal land, the bill gives administrative control to D.C. for 99 years. The bill allows for a stadium, but explicitly prohibits D.C. from using federal funds to build one. It does allow for the RFK lease to be canceled, but only if the federal government finds D.C. not complying with the terms of the lease and not correcting any violations within 90 days of being notified. Roth interprets the president's remarks more as a way of exerting pressure on all sides to get this done.
The one thing he is very right about is that this is an important piece of property. And he is right that the federal government has retained ownership. They have merely transferred the administrative duties to the district. And in order for them to take it back, the district would have to be in violation of the agreement, which would be pretty hard to do.
D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser was asked specifically about the president's remarks today, didn't sort of respond to the question, but did just stress the urgency of trying to get this done from her perspective as quickly as possible. We reached out to the team today and did not hear back, and nothing from Council Chair Phil Mendelson in direct response to the remarks the president made. Jim, Homa.